we've got video out of Chicago as these immigration protests light up, and people aren't having it. A car actually navigates, driving through the protest. It appears everybody's fine, but people are saying no. Look at this.
There's the red car that's coming in, and you'll see people trying to get out of the way, others standing in front, and others beating the car, trying to slow it down or stop it. And then you'll see the officer right there as it passed. We'll show you here. There's the red car that's coming in, and you'll see people trying to get out of the way.
Yeah, people are no longer going to wait around after what we saw with these with the BLM riots in the Summer of Love.
And they pulled people out of their
notably,
cars.
well, the woman, it was a man. I think it was a man or woman. I can't remember who got shot in Provo, Utah.
Yeah.
So driving on the street, minding your own business, someone runs up to your car and just shoots you. So now people aren't stopping.
No, I don't know why you would. They're not stopping for the climate people anymore either, remember?
Yeah, and well, I guess I got to say, if you live in a place like Chicago, you're going to prison.
Well, this is kind of a modification of the, if you're going to take on the king, you better kill him type thing. They shot their wad in 2020 and for some time thereafter. And now we have the information openly there, and people are just definitely not going to put up with it anymore. And when it gets out of hand in ways like it did in 2020, it's still not going to convince them to give up anymore.
Well, so we have this from Newsweek. LA may be hit with a curfew. This story is just breaking in the past hour. Mayor Bass says that they may launch a curfew tonight with everything getting as crazy as it is. So Donald Trump's support right now on immigration. CNN had this hilarious bit. Harry Ensign, man, he's their poll guy. He's a living meme now because every week at least, he's going, look at the polls. People love Donald Trump. We can't believe these numbers. And it's like, okay.
He's shocked every time.
Shocked every time that people support what Trump is doing right now. And I say, get out there, National Guard. Send in the Marines where necessary. Arrest all these people. They should be charged not just with rioting. There are people on the streets screaming for a foreign nation. Charge them with sedition, and let's be done with this. Let's. If you come in now and say we will enforce the law as it is written, and that means if you're cheering for a foreign nation, fighting the federal government and our military for foreign nationals, sedition, we lock you up.
I don't see why this is controversial at all. This is stuff that 20 years ago Democrats would have agreed with.
Yeah, but Democrats have gone so far to the left that all of us ended up being conservative.
Well, we're at a time, though, too, where you can press something that years ago would have seemed incredibly radical, and now people are so fed up with the situation they'd accept it. I mean, I'm in 100% agreement.
So what do you think is or what do you actually, both of you, Libby, what do you think is what do you think would be an action too far that would actually turn most of America against Donald Trump? Because right now he's still at 55%. People want to see roundups, not just deportations, but people getting rounded up, illegals getting rounded up, not just the criminals. Mm-hmm. This is something that's been pulled over and over, and people are like, yes, round up the illegals, not just the criminals, round up the illegals and send them home. What do you think would be too much for the American people?
Well, I think if you actually did start seeing like children being ripped out of parents' arms, but of course that's what Democrats are driving all of this towards. That's what they want to have happen, right? I mean, you have sanctuary cities and sanctuary states where the law says that local law enforcement cannot help federal law enforcement. So what does that mean? What that means is that federal law enforcement, right, they have to go out into the community instead. So you have somebody who is a criminal illegal immigrant. They get detained locally for whatever crime they did. So when they get released, when it's time for them to get released into the community or whatever, local law enforcement does not call federal law enforcement to say, come get your guy here. Yeah. Right?
We got breaking news as of, I believe, just about a minute or so ago. Mayor Karen Bass has declared an emergency and enacted a curfew for 1 square mile in downtown Los Angeles. So this is actually, from about a minute or two ago, this just broke. This is Alex Michelson of Fox LA. So they did it. LAPD says they'll arrest anyone breaking curfew.
To answer your question, by the way, I want to say one other thing. The question may not be what would go too far. I actually think that this sentiment that's out there right now, Donald Trump could go farther than he ought to and is going to get support This is an emergency situation. People are feeling how bad this is. Now, by the way, it's to Donald Trump's credit. I think he's totally restrained and would never do crazy crap, right? He's going to think through it. He's very he's far more methodical than people give him credit for, frankly. He really does understand how to take things in a certain way. But I think I guess I'm trying to say, I don't think there are really very many limits right now. I'd be surprised to see what that is on this issue. Now, on some other issues, maybe, but when it comes to the immigration thing, what's happening right now, I think people are ready for answers because they're really pissed off. There's been no pushback on what Tom Homan's doing, and it's been very aggressive, and I think it remains with this as well.
But
the curfew is going to be enforced for several days.
Nice.
Is that do you one second before we move on? Do you think the curfew is in response to the nationwide stuff, or is it just what's going on in LA now?
No, it's a combination of Trump and nationwide.
Well,
They're seeing the political pressure.
They saw the polls.
Yeah, exactly.
And the polls show that not only is Trump popular on immigration, when polled, I believe it was, I do have the poll. Let me pull it up. Trump is popular on the deployment of the National Guard. So I think they're seeing that they are losing this, and by allowing these riots to continue, either LA or otherwise, it's helping Republicans for the midterms. All that's happened already, it's all going to appear in commercials. Mm-hmm. They're going to be saying when LA burned for 3 days, it was the Republicans, it was Trump, and then they're going to name their member of Congress who stood with Trump and said, we need law and order, all that stuff. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.